Ladies and G-Force lovers, so that'll be both of you. Right, let's have a look at doing a string change on a guitar equipped with the Gibson G-Force system, not the Tronical system. And just to make sure that we're absolutely clear about this, let's have a look at the difference between the two. So, your G-Force system quite clearly says Gibson and G-Force here on the head, and the Tronical system quite clearly says Tronical here on the head. Now you will note that they do look identical, but in fact the operation is, I mean, they really are identical just in pretty much every way, except for in the way that they operate. So I did a Tronical one recently, you'll find that a couple of weeks ago. So let's now have a look at how we change the strings on the Gibson G-Force. Okay, so the thing that is absolutely key here is the up and down string function, and this is achieved by pressing the power button, which is the, so you can see here we've got, I do hope you can see, yes you can, let me get a little thing to point with. So what we've got here is we've got 4 directions. Here there is there's a battery light and a menu light here. In the centre, that's an enter button, and bottom right here is the power button. So for this we press the power button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and the enter button twice, and you note then that we've now got one red flashing LED, and all I'm going to do to string down is press the down arrow key, and that's, well, that's nearly off already, and you can probably see now that the bottom E string is coming away, and I'm going to repeat that operation with all of them so that, of course, I'll just show you what happens. You will need a small coin. This is an American 1 cent. I think that this is intentional, that a 1 cent fits inside the slot of the locking tuner, and so you're just undoing that and you will find it wrapped around the little capstan. So let's have a look at putting one on. So that's all of the strings detensioned, and I can almost hear you asking, why do I need to detension? Why can't I just get my trusty side cutters here and just snip them all off? Well, for the same reason that you don't want to do that with your regular tuning machines, with either your Grovers or Klusons. Whilst the wood in the guitar, I'm pretty sure, couldn't care less whether you do that or not. What you do run the risk of doing with both these and with regular, as I say, Grovers or Klusons or Gibson Deluxe, whatever, is that when when all of the cogs are enmeshed together, if you suddenly release that tension, you do run the risk of knackering the gears inside and costing yourself money unnecessarily, when you could have just, you know, released the tension, made them all nice and floppy, and done it like a decent chap. So let's get those off. So if you are moving the guitar around at all, make sure that you don't lose this nut that sits on here, your adjustable nut. Probably about the best guitar invention that's happened in recent years, in my opinion. So these are in fact, of course, locking nuts, and what you're going to do is you're going to wrap it around the capstan in the usual way so that the string sits on the outside of the post, and then when you wrap it up through the little slot here, you're then going to wrap it around in the opposite direction that would feel normal. So up through the slot and then around the post. so that it's sitting on the top of that post in the same direction of the thread that holds down the locking part of the mechanism. So you get that on finger tight. You put your small coin in there. Well, I mean, obviously you can use a sausage screwdriver, just make sure it's big enough. It's not going to leave any deep wounds inside it. And it really does perform in the absolute same way as any locking tuning machine. And then, once it's nice and tight, snip it off. And then use your string up function, because the strings do need to be you know, somewhere near. They can't be too floppy for you to do the automatic tuning, so you need them somewhere, you know, within a reasonable tension. So it's 1 2 3 1 2, and this time I'm going to press the up function, which will tighten the string. Once you get it near, it'll start to do it itself and move you along to the next one. I'm going to turn that off now. And so you carry on with that right the way up. Alright, let's have a look at one of the treble side strings. So okay, we're doing the top E now, and it's more or less the same as the other one, except of course we're not going counterclockwise on the post when we get to the top, and because these strings are thinner, so it's round the post through the slot, and this time instead of just wrapping it around the once, we're going to wrap it around twice to give it a bit more extra bite with the string being thinner. And I will do that certainly with the B and the E strings. And then get our little milled nut on there, get it down finger tight, use your coin to nip him up. And it's nice and tight. Snip that off. And same again, we're going to use the string up function. See, it's totally loose right now. So it's 1 2 3 1 2, and we're going to select the top E, which is lowercase rather than uppercase, and do the string up. And now it takes over once it gets somewhere near to pitch. And snap. Yeah. Done. Okay, and I'll turn it off. So that is how we restring a G-Force. So obviously it's just a case of rinse and repeat with the Gibson G-Force, and I do hope that you found that useful. Obviously the G-Force does all sorts of other stuff than just the regular tuning. It does alternate tunings, which is something that I don't really get involved with, but certainly it is a good system, but divides opinion. So I hope you found that useful, and I shall say adios amigos, ta-ra.